Peter Buswell for DrVoIP.com. Today, we're going to take a look at ShoreTel Siri-like features using a product from a company called IncendioNet. The product, SpeechBridge, provides advanced speech recognition functionality, text-to-speech functionality, and offers a wide range of application development tools that enable you to add speech dialing to your ShoreTel deployment, for example. Why do you need a SpeechBridge? Well, speech dialing. Those of you who like Siri applications on your iPhone are going to love SpeechBridge on your ShoreTel. Let's get rid of that spelled by name directory and allow people to see the name of the person they want to speak with rather than pushing a bunch of digits. In a world where we're increasingly more mobile, cellular phone driven, being able to enable speech applications adds a great deal of useful functionality to our voice over IP deployments, and SpeechBridge does an excellent job on your ShoreTel, and you should be considering it. You're able to develop custom IP applications. Don't let voice XML scare you, or the use of APIs to create custom applications. These are tools available to those of you who are interested in adding speech recognition to custom applications. But out of the box, the SpeechBridge provides templates for a variety of applications like the digital receptionist, the ability to have your auto attendant in your ShoreTel system to have it be speech enabled. If you're looking to have calendar events, for example, appointments, confirmed or changed using a voice interface, SpeechBridge can help you there. SpeechBridge can also do transcription. So imagine having a voice message transcribed and sent to you as an email. I know lawyers that sit in court all day long love this feature because they can't take a telephone call, but they can read email. So transcription is very useful speech-enabled capability in the SpeechBridge. And from a pure business point of view, it's a recurring revenue opportunity as you offer menu maintenance and directory maintenance or custom application development to your customer base. I think you should actually give one of these away with every ShoreTel deployment. Folks get a taste of this, they're going to come back with all kinds of requests for product enhancements. And lastly, it's a product differentiation strategy. Why is your ShoreTel different than the next guy's ShoreTel? Why is your company and service offering different than the next guy's ShoreTel offering? So keep these points in mind when you're considering speech recognition, and take a look at the speech rec solution offered by SpeechBridge. It's pretty easy to install, so you can't use installation. It's too complex. There's a reason not to have it. You're going to interconnect your SpeechBridge, which is nothing more than a simple one UI Linux appliance. It's not any different technically than, say, the ShoreTel SA100 application. It's about the same form factor. It takes up about 1 U in your rack. It integrates with back office applications, like, for example, obviously if you want to transcribe email, you're going to interface with your email, or if you're going to take a look at interfacing to calendar functions. Exchange your LDAP directory to pull in your users. It's not necessary. It has a built-in user list that you can use rather than interface with LDAP. But these components, the PBX, the SIP trunk to your Incendio bridge, very easy to create. At this point, your average ShoreTel installer is comfortable setting up SIP trunks. You're going to create the trunk, allocate ports and resources on your ShoreTel switch, create an OPX extension that points at the SpeechBridge. Try to use uncompressed vocoder if possible, but of course, if you are supporting remote sites and they're routing calls in over the WAN to hear your auto attendant or speak to it, you'll probably want to use a higher compression vocoder. You'll set it up as your default auto attendant, and then you'll go set up your SpeechBridge. SpeechBridge is pretty easy to set up. It's basically a website. It has a web interface. You point to your browser edit, and off you go. Now, clearly, before you can point your browser edit, you have to set up some of the network services, and it's pretty standard stuff, guys. It's you're doing it all the time now. You're going to give it a static IP address. You probably want to make sure you've got a DNS record in your deployment for the SpeechBridge server. You're going to change default passwords. Then you're going to use the SpeechBridge interface to web interface to set up your SIP trunk, the other side of the SIP trunk, with your ShoreTel. You will then associate a DID number with your voice XML application. Now, don't let that frighten you. At the end of the day, an XML application is simply an auto attendant. And you're just going to say, when you see this DID number come across that SIP trunk, I want to launch the auto attendant, or I want to launch my banking application or my calendar application. But generally, out of the box, you're going to set this up as a simple automated attendant with speech dialing. You'll set some parameters for your application. For example, where's the operator extension? If someone presses 0 or says operator, SpeechBridge needs to know where to send that call. Are you going to use an Active Directory to pull user information into the system? Or you can just use the built-in directory system. You'll set up some alias nicknames and alternative pronunciations. So, people might call for Peter, they might call for Pete, or they might call for DrVoIP. Let's make sure all of those options are defined in the SpeechBridge, and then we'll give it some sloppy pronunciation too, just in case they kind of mispronounce Booswell instead of Buswell. All of that can be defined and made very usable as a speech interface in the SpeechBridge deployment. You're going to set your custom prompts or use the system prompts, and of course you can set your schedule of operations. It is pretty simple to set up. The SIP trunk on ShoreTel and the basic setup of a SpeechBridge are pretty straightforward and well within the ability of your average ShoreTel deployment technician. Those of you with programming skills that know what an XML interface or an API or any web dev experience or REST experience, you'll find this to be an amazing tool. So what I'd like to do at this point is have Brian Ayers, co-founder and chief technology officer at SpeechBridge, show you just how easy it is to set this puppy up. And I encourage you to take a hard look at adding speech-enabled applications to your ShoreTel.
Okay, so we're going to do a super quick setup of the virtual receptionist in SpeechBridge integrated with our ShoreTel phone system. So the first thing you want to do is pull up a browser window and go to https:// and the IP address of your SpeechBridge server, and you'll see the SpeechBridge login page. And you're going to want to log in with the admin user, and the default password out of the box is admin. So we're just going to go ahead and log in there. The first thing you're going to want to do is actually change that password, in which case you'll spot the admin user here in the user directory grid. And if you click the More link under the user preferences, that'll take you to a page where you can change the password. We're not going to do that right now. So then what we are going to do is upload the ShoreTel user directory export that I had made just a minute ago. Select that file, click Upload Now, and you'll see that all three of the users that I've imported or that I had in my ShoreTel system are now imported. Now you can see a lot of garbage users in here, things like lobby area phones, conference room phones, those kind of things. You may not necessarily want to have those show up in your virtual receptionist directory, so you can just click the checkbox next to it and delete that out. You can also hide those if you want, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So the first thing you'll notice there's a red line up top saying that your voice XML files are out of date, and what you'll want to do to get rid of that is click the Generate Voice XML button down at the bottom. And what that does is that has then pushed those names that we've just imported into our live virtual receptionist directory. So you could now call in and say my name, Brian Ayers, and be transferred to my ShoreTel extension. And we're done. I'm going to make this a little more interesting and actually do an import from Active Directory. So I'm going to specify a member server in the directory here. And specify the domain. And you can use any user that's a member of the domain. It doesn't have to be the administrator. So it just needs to have privileges to browse the directory, and say save, and then click import users, and you'll see that it's saved the users to the directory. If we go back over to the user directory, then we'll see that it has actually pulled in a number of other names into our directory. So you will notice also that some of the entries don't have names, and some of them don't have extensions. And the way this actually works is that if it doesn't have a name or it doesn't have an extension, then it doesn't really make sense, so we just ignore those. But all the other names you'll be able to say. So at this point you'll be able to say my name, Gary Hegna, Tim Cruz, all of those guys in there are now into the directory. And again, we have the red warning up top, so we'll go ahead and click the big button down at the bottom, and all those names have now just been pushed out live. So another trick you can pull here, if you have a difficult to pronounce name in the directory, or you want to associate a nickname with folks, it's real easy to set that up. So let's pick Steve here, and just click on the More link. And let's say we're a small organization here, and Steve just happens to handle all our tech support calls. So we're going to go ahead and add in what we call an alias for him, so that now whenever somebody calls for tech support, they're going to get routed directly to Steve. Another way this is, another purpose that this is really helpful with is when you have a difficult to pronounce name, or a name that doesn't follow the typical American English spelling. And we have an example here of a former French Prime Minister, where what you want to do here basically is just mangle the pronunciation into a phonetic spelling that fits along with the American English type spelling rules. So for François Mitterrand, you would want to go ahead and spell it as we got listed out there. So that does a couple things. That helps the speech recognition engine recognize those foreign names better, and it also works with it better with the text-to-speech engine, so for the name confirmation it will sound better when it comes back out on the other side. So again, we get the warning that our files are out of date, and we've then updated the system to have that new nickname in there. So basically we have a fully functioning virtual receptionist at this point, but one thing we might want to do is go into the greeting prompts and change the greeting there's a default greeting that the system comes with that you'll probably want to go ahead and upload your own WAV file to play instead. The easiest way with ShoreTel to record your greetings to use is just to leave yourself a voicemail and basically copy that out of your email inbox when it comes in and then upload it into ShoreTel here. And that's basically it. You now have a fully functioning virtual receptionist.